YouTube? This is Vargas recording live from not the Vargas Vault. Back again with another collection pickup video. This time around, I finally got around to going to the comic book store. It's been a good solid 3, maybe 4 months since I've been to the comic book store. And reason for that is mostly because of money. I haven't been able to save enough money to actually go and pick up my stash. And I don't collect as many comic books as I used to. In a week, I would probably get 10 comic books. Now in a week, I may get 1, 2, tops. I've drastically dropped the amount of comic books that I've picked up ever since my second kid got born. So, you know, comic books one of many of my hobbies have taken a hit. But I still collect. I still collect Batman, because Batman is my favorite DC hero. And I collect Wolverine, because Wolverine is my favorite Marvel hero. And I'm also still collecting X-23, which is Wolverine's daughter, because it's Wolverine's daughter. Countdown, which is a miniseries that has been really delayed. It's a good story, but it's just been way too delayed. And the other thing I'm picking up is True Believer comic books, which is these reprints that Marvel is posting that are worth $1, and they reprint key or memorable issues within a certain run. So finally went to the comic book store, and I did clean everything out. I left in my file all of X-23. I can afford X-23, and I left Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. I left that behind because I just didn't have that much money. But gonna share what I picked up. Hopefully I won't make a long video, so I'll try to breeze real quick. This is True Believer's Amazing Spider-Man reprint of issue 101. And I really like these True Believer $1 comic books. They reprint, like I said, classic stories. And I genuinely enjoy these a lot more than what Marvel is publishing recently. I like dipping into, you know, the old thing. And these older comic books, they're not impossible to find. You can find a pretty beat up copy for a regular price. If you want to get a good copy, it'll obviously cost you a bit more. But you know, I just want to read the stories. I'm into comic books for the stories, the artwork, not the monetary value. So these are perfect for me. These are $1 comic books, and this one I think reprints the first appearance of Morbius, and of course has the six-armed Spider-Man after he tried to make a serum that would remove his spider power so he can marry Gwen Stacy. It amplified his powers and actually made things much worse. Where's the rest of the Spider-Man books I got? There we go. I got a couple. Next book I got, I actually should have organized these better, is a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man #1. I was trying to remember whether or not I already own a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man #1. But I couldn't remember, so I was like, it's still only $1, I'll buy it. And this reprints, of course, Amazing Spider-Man #1. And in the first issue, it's not Spider-Man's first appearance. I did get a reprint of Amazing Fantasy. But this is Spider-Man's first solo issue where he encounters the Fantastic Four. So that was cool. Next is Amazing Spider-Man. I don't know which one reprints this, but it's when Reed Richards finds out that Spider-Man's black suit is a living symbiote, and he traps it for a bit. And in Spider-Man's mind, he's, you know, having this fight between the black suit and the Spider-Man suit. Really good issue. Really like that one. The next one, again, I don't know which one it reprints, but it must be in the 300s because it's drawn by Todd McFarlane. And this has Spider-Man fighting the Grey Hulk, and actually kicking his ass. He punches them so hard he sends them to space. And I don't have too many of the Todd McFarlane issues, so that was pretty cool. Then I picked up a couple of Avengers and a Silver Surfer. Picked up a reprint of Silver Surfer 51, which has my second favorite Marvel supervillain, Galactus, the Devourer of Worlds. And this is an Infinity Gauntlet crossover, so pick that one up. Next, I don't know the order, so I don't know. This is Avengers, a reprint of Avengers called The Gathering. Then this is another reprint of Avengers. And this one is the issue where Nebula says she's the granddaughter of Galactus, the granddaughter of Thanos. So let's pick that one up. Then this one is a reprint because of the name, I guess. It's Avengers Endgame. And this one has the current Avengers. Then they're fighting Kang the Conqueror. And they have the current Avengers fighting the Invaders, which is 1940s Cap, Human Torch, and Namor. So this is pretty cool. Classic Avengers. And even though this says Avengers, it's a reprint of an issue of Mighty Thor. And this is a reprint of Stormbreaker, which is actually not the axe thing that Thor uses. It's a different kind of mallet that Beta Ray Bill uses. So yeah, that's where the name Stormbreaker came from. So again, huge fan of those dollar comic books. Then DC released a 25-cent preview. This is because they're gonna do this whole year of the villain thing, where the villains take over, which had been done before. They did that in Forever Evil, where the villains took over. So going down that well again. But this was a nice sampler. It has 3 issues, 3 little stories. One with Lex Luthor, and the Doom Patrol. One with the Batman Who Laughs, and one with this thing, and I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. So yeah, that's what it is. Next thing I've cleared out every single issue of Batman that I have in my file, starting with Batman 62. A lot of people I've read online have not liked Tom King's run on Batman. I've liked it. I was mostly because I guess a lot of people got really mad that Batman didn't marry Catwoman. It was building up, and at the end, didn't happen. Same thing happened with Kitty Pryde and Colossus. They were building the wedding up, and didn't happen. And in issue 62, it seems like Batman is stuck in a dream, which carries on to Batman 63. And the guy at the comic book store got me a variant cover of issue 63. So that's pretty cool. He's still stuck in a dream. Then this kind of like cuts in Batman 64. And Batman 65. It's a crossover with The Flash, and they're trying to deal with Gotham Girl and her attempts to try to bring back to life her brother. But yeah. Then, but that was like a filler issue. Then we have a really cool cover. I really like this cover a lot. This is issue 66. Really cool cover. I wish this artist was still doing the artwork for Batman, but he's not doing the artwork. And I like this artist. I don't know who the artist is that made the cover, but I like this artwork. Batman's still stuck in the machine, still having dreams. This one is issue 67. Still having dreams. This one he's running for the Joker, and this one's a quick read because it doesn't have any text. It's just it's like one. I don't know if anyone else remembers this, but for a month Marvel did this whole Nuff Said series of comic books, where they released comic books with no text. It was just artwork, and they told the story through that. This is a callback to that. There's no text in this, just the action happening. Then we have Batman 68. This one was this is pretty good, because it's said before, Batman was gonna marry Catwoman. So Batman has a bachelor party with Superman, and Catwoman has a bachelor party with Lois Lane, and they get into some really weird stuff. But this was a fun little issue. Then we go back to the dream world with Batman 69, and this one dissects the relationship between Batman and Catwoman a little bit more. This was a good read. Then issue 70 has him. The whole reason he was in like this dream world is because he was plugged into a machine in Arkham Asylum, and that was what was making him have these dreams. Kind of like what happened in an episode of Batman the Animated Series, where the Mad Hatter captures Batman, and he plugs him into a machine where his parents didn't get killed. Same thing like that, but in this one he breaks out of Arkham, and he's just trying to get out, and fights all of his rogues. And then in issue 71, right here, it's revealed that it was Bane and Flashpoint Batman that put Batman in the machine. Somehow Flashpoint Batman survived, and he doesn't want Bruce Wayne. Damn. Sorry about that. It's a mosquito that's been bugging me for a while. Again, I don't know what it is about this specific place that a lot of mosquitoes. Anyway, Flashpoint Batman doesn't want Bruce Wayne Batman to be Batman, so he's helping out Bane to destroy his own son, because that's weird. At least I think it's Flashpoint Batman. I'm not sure if I'm wrong. Someone please let me know. I was under the impression it's Flashpoint Batman, but it might also be the Batman from Earth 2 that got killed in Convergence. So if anyone can clear that up, I'd really appreciate it. But yeah. And then in issue 72, Bane breaks Batman. He's all messed up mentally, physically probably as well. And in this one, Bane once again breaks the Batman. He does what Bane does and grabs him, and then just breaks him in half again. So that happened again. Really repeated that. And the next couple of books I got was the Dead Man Logan. When Wolverine died, Old Man Logan took his place in the Marvel Universe. But then they canceled the series in issue 50, and then they started releasing this 12-issue miniseries, which is the death of Old Man Logan. That's why it's called Dead Man Logan. So this is issue 1. And Dead Man Logan is dying because he's old and his healing factor is crapping out. And he's suffering from adamantium poisoning. And then he injected himself with a mutant drug that's killing him too. So he's all messed up. So before he goes, he's gonna go away. He's gonna go down the only way Wolverine knows down, and that's fighting and trying to do some good before he leaves. And what he's trying to do is stop the rise of the villains. So he wants to finally take out Mysterio. But Mysterio gets involved with Mrs. Sinister and Hydra. So they develop a plan to actually take Wolverine down. And that continues in issue 2 of 12. Wolverine's trying to actively hunt Mysterio. This is issue 3. And in this one, Mysterio is creating illusions to make Wolverine fight the Avengers and the X-Men. And we have issue 4, where he's trying to recuperate. And issue 5 concludes the whole thing, where he actually takes down Hydra and everyone else. So that was cool. And issue 6 has the aftermath, where he meets with his younger 616 version. And this, I would have liked this handled better. It's only like 2-3 pages where they actually get to talk. I would have liked to seen, young Wolverine talk more with old Wolverine. I think that's a missed opportunity to expand, this whole dynamic that could have been awesome, but they kind of like dropped the ball in that, I feel. Then Forge, who's the mutant that's able to create technology. It's his mutant power. He can create technology and invent stuff. And in issue 1, they recuperate the body of the Maestro, which Wolverine killed by cutting off his head. And the Maestro has the coordinates to Old Man Logan's future parallel dimension. So he creates a machine, and he's able to send Old Man Logan back to the Badlands, you know, to try to find the Hulk's son that he left behind. And so this is the story of Old Man Logan trying to find the kid that he left behind. And then this one's really, really messed up because he finds a group of cannibals, and they're like, "Oh, you're Wolverine, you regenerate, right? Well, we're gonna eat you forever." But they don't know that Wolverine's healing factor is all messed up, so they're eating him, but he's not regenerating fast enough. But they're eating him alive until he gets rescued, so that's kind of messed up. And then the last issue that's come out is issue 8, where Wolverine is finally encounters the Hulk baby that he left behind. But this group of people create like the Hulk Killer, which is a purplish kind of Hulk, to kill baby Hulk. And at the end of the issue, this Hulk Killer rips out Wolverine's lungs, so he's kind of messed up. And also Sabretooth is still alive somehow, so that's interesting. So 4 more issues to go to that. So only thing I left behind is X-23, which I need to pick up next time I go. There's like 10 issues of X-23 that I left behind. 2 issues of Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. And 1 issue of Countdown. And that's all. The only thing I left behind. So next time I'm able to save some money, I'll go pick those up, plus whatever other comic books I get. And you'll see a much shorter video because that's not too many comic books. But like I mentioned before, the comic book pickups will be short and far between because I'm not picking up as many books, and I need them to stack up for a bit so I can make an interesting video. So yeah, comic books might not be, unfortunately, as frequent as they used to. At least pickups. I am dabbling on the idea on making, or looking back at, you know, comic books from the past, or comic books from my collection. So that might be an idea for channel content. But I hope you enjoyed these comic book pickups. I enjoyed reading them. I still love comic books. If it was up to me, I'd still buy more comic books. But you know, it is what it is. I have to cut down on something, and comic books is it. Until I see you all again, thanks so much for watching. Please leave a comment. Please clear up the thing about Batman. I don't know if that's... It looks like Flashpoint Batman, but it could also be Batman from Earth 2. So clear that up, please. It's bugging me. But until I see you all again, this is Vargas, recording in not the Vargas Vault. Thanking you all and signing out.